So a couple of videos back, I wasn't in a quandary, but I was just kind of wondering if a single layer of this gesso that I applied to, or this exterior latex primer that I had applied to these panels would do the job, or would I require two? Now, when you look up the suggestions from the company, they want you to apply 20 layers and 50 layers on the back so that you use up as much of the product as possible. Of course, that's ridiculous. What I needed to know was, will this peel off of these panels? It doesn't. I mean, I've taken my fingernail, I've taken a screwdriver to another one, and unless I get really aggressive about it, this stuff sticks like white on rice. Not a problem. So I'm very happy with that. Now what I'm going to do though is, I have 9 more. I'll stain them later, but I'm going to buy a bunch more of these panels. But for the moment, let me just stain it. There's no painting today. Okay, I'm going to use a little bit of, well, my favorite twins, burnt sienna and ultramarine blue. I'm going to go fairly dark. This one anyway. I had a great day. I had a fantastic day. This weekend was the BC Rock and Gem Show here in BC, British Columbia, Canada. And I love those things. I think, well, I've explained in the past that I'm a bit of a rock hound. My parents were rock hounds. My wife and my children, well, my son not so much, but my daughter has really picked up on it, and we have an area where you can go look for agates pretty easily and in a fun way. So we do a fair bit of that. A little more. But it's huge. It's for the entire province of British Columbia. It's the biggest one by far. Not as big as what you have down in the States. But for here, it's pretty good. And it's been held for a number of years. Very large building. A lot of vendors. A lot of American people come up here as well. And they often have like fantastic samples. Anyway, spent the day wandering around. I spent a couple hours wandering around in that building with my wife and daughter. We had fun. It was interesting. It's been a long time since I've been in one area that had so many cool things. Anyway, I loved it. But being amongst a lot of people just takes the wind out of me. I do not like being in crowds of people. I don't like it. Anyway, still fun. Done now. I probably should mow some lawn yet tonight. Don't know if I will. But, okay, as I'm doing this, here's something I'm noticing. I'm not thinning off my paint that much. And the primer that I put on here is not absorbing a lot of paint. It's a bit of a concern. I'm going to have to think about that one. In a sense, this panel should be going quite dark. As far as my past experience is concerned anyways. It's not doing that. Because it's not absorbing a lot of paint. Now that primer, for my purposes, it's not so much to make the painting or the background white as it is to provide a barrier between the wood, and although a panel is mostly, it's an Amazonite panel, it's mostly glue, but it's also a lot of wood, a barrier between the wood and the oil paint. Because the oil paint will actually damage eventually, that Masonite. Anyway, that's coming from a persnickety guy who, yeah, my dad was a restorer of old paintings, and by old I don't mean 50 years old. I mean hundreds of years old. He knew his stuff. So I'm a little bit leery of not following the old guidelines. However, in an age and economy where I cannot afford to buy Belgian linen for all of my canvases, and I cannot provide, nobody can. It's not even available, proper grounds for linen, and using, what is it, cat skin glue? Rabbit skin glue, I guess. Things have changed a lot. So, a bit new to me. Anyway, I'm not too worried about it yet. I'm just a bit surprised. I expect it to absorb a lot more paint than it did. I know that if I were to buy gesso, brand gesso, and paint it on here, it would suck up more of the tint that I just put on here. So I'm just going to have to spend a bit of time with that, think about it. But that's it. Had a great day. What more can you ask for than a great day? Hope you have a good weekend. Talk to you soon.